Okay, now here is where things get a little more complicated. When we want to start doing things like linking our counters in text, this is where things get complicated. If you want things to start to link with these little highlighted rows in your text, you have to do things a little differently in the text setup. So let's talk about it. So I have my little like practice round here, and you can see that I have these little rows here, and it'll ask you how many visible rows you have as you're setting up your chart. So let's take a look at how that was done. I'm going to go back to the row that I already, or the chart that I already set up in the text. So I'm going to go back to my B text 2 here. And I'm actually going to re-click on that little crop button because it's already been set up. So I'm going to adjust what I've already set up. If you want to adjust something you've already done, you're going to click on this little crop again, and it's going to just take you back to what you've already cropped out. So I'm going to embiggen here, and you can see that little white section that you've already cropped through. And you're going to click on visible rows, and you're going to count how many lines you can see. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like a big section here that would be, here, and then it gives you your stitch count. So I'm just going to count out the rows that I can actually see that I would probably want it to count out for me. So we'll say that there are 5 visible rows here. So I'm going to adjust this from 0, and I'm going to type in that I have 5. Oh, that didn't quite work out. So I'm going to adjust that and maybe say, oh, I see. Because I cropped out this stitch counts after. So sometimes you need to adjust it through. You might say, let's adjust it into 7. Not quite still. Oh, almost, but not quite. So sometimes you need to adjust it through. It might be closer to 6. It's actually, I guess, like 6.5 because of that weird spacing that they did in the pattern. So we'll keep it at, I think 7 is the closest. Or the other alternative that you can do is to recrop it and take out the stitch count after the row. So maybe you're like, oh, I don't need that stitch count, or I don't need the space after the stitch count. And then that might fix some of that issue. Not quite. Sometimes, like I said, it's a little bit of a game. Oh, 6 works. Okay. So 6 is good, or 7 on that. 7 is good on that. Okay. So now you can keep your stitch counts there, and it evenly kind of distributes those lines. So sometimes it's just a game of kind of playing around with that spacing. So it's evenly distributed my little lines here now. And now when you hit that plus button, like you would with a chart, it will advance your rows as well. So when you get to that SSK, you can go to next, and it'll go to knit 2, yarn over, and it'll go to that next little set of directions so you can tell where you are. So that's kind of handy when you're working in your text, because I know sometimes when I'm working, I'm like, oh, where was I? When I'm reading a whole bunch of written directions, I forget sort of where I'm at in the middle of my working. So that is kind of handy to have. And now from here, you can start setting up your pattern like with this text. So now from here, you can go down to like linking these parts. And if you set these up like as a template instead of as the text parts, you can go ahead and use this little link, and you could use these as templates to piece them together. And we'll talk about that in just a minute.